to be the warm embrace of somebody, it's just real important that we understand about family. And it's understanding, as I heard my uncle speak, you don't know somebody's story. And you're going to hear a lot about that within the next couple of days, especially at our dinner, in terms of who and what we are, and how we can be able to trace our history. And that's an important understanding. Because if you don't know who you are, you will never be able to understand where you're about to go. And it's just important. When we can trace our history all the way to Blackbeard, Pirate, where you can trace our history to the roots, and when you drive in these small little towns, and you've had this understanding about where you at, you stand a little taller. That tree that I talked to you about with the roots that are strong and the branches that are lean, you stand a little bit stronger because that's important. So you don't know when somebody came or from whence they came is real important. You had an opportunity to talk to each and every one of you. I want you to expand upon that, and that's an important thing. Y'all know me as Wally. Y'all know me as this young kid coming through. Some of y'all see me. But you would never know that I've had this opportunity to meet two presidents, a governor. I worked for the mayor, who's the first African-American mayor of a major city. Because you don't know my story. I don't say that because it's all about this is what I do, because nothing that I do has not been without the Lord. Nothing. Nothing that I have done has not been without the love of a single mother that has raised me to the man that I am. Nothing that I have done has been put inside me that has not been put inside her, from the streets of Mestre, Bayboro, New Bern, North Carolina, that has gone all the way to New York, up to Buffalo. Nothing that I have done can erase how I was raised, because you don't know my story. I get an opportunity to speak, and I have spoken in Australia. I've gone all across this country. People have just wanted to hear a little bit of the things that I have, but the one thing that I'm proud of, and I get these opportunities all the time, and I'm just blown away because I'm this young kid that just grew up in the projects in East Harlem. When I come back home, I have these two worlds that I live in. This world, this beautiful world that I call home down here, and another world from my father's side, that I call home, and they collide, and it's such a beautiful thing, and I got this opportunity to speak, and I'm just saying my story. And so, the point that I'm just saying here is that we all have a story. It's important that we can be able to articulate, because never in the life that I would ever think that I would be doing a job that I love to do. And truly, it's not about me. It never has been. Because if you ask me, would I be doing what I'm doing now? I would have told you, all I want to just do is to help people. So every day that I wake up, and I hear my mother talking to me, when I was in school and college, and sometimes I would go through issues, and I would go through that, and she said, well, baby, are you all right? I said, yeah. I said, you treating people well? Yeah. People treating you well? Well, that's what it counts. You got to do right by folks. You got to do right. And I never understood why I wanted to do so much for folks. And sometimes, as this generation, you'll start to see, you start to imitate, the things that has been impressed upon you, right? That I always saw my mother doing something for somebody else. Whenever I would come home, from college, or when I come home, y'all would be up in her house, and y'all would be over there, and, I'd be, okay, Mom, I'm going to sleep on the couch, and, because she always opened up her home for everybody. She cooked for everybody. And then I understood, then I got to know that, well, Auntie did that. Oh, cousin so-and-so did that, because that's what we do. That's right? So the point that I'm saying here is that as I move, I don't do that by myself, because I tell my story. I tell my story of my granddaddy telling me about what my work was, when I talk about leadership, when I talk about a little bit about community engagement and civic engagement, when I go around, I'm blown away that somebody would want to have me be able to talk about this. I say all of that because as I am proud of doing all of that, the greatest honor that I've ever gotten in terms of speaking was today. Something about family.
All about family.
something about family that my auntie, you know, and I will tell this story because I think, you know, my mother she knew about this, and I found out that I would be speaking, I think a little earlier today, maybe hinted it around tomorrow, and she's like, oh, I just want you to say a few things and this and that. I come in, she calls and wants me to help her, set the chairs up. I said, wow, you know, I want to be a little nosy. I want to look at the program, right? I said, wow, you know, I look in there, meet and greet, master ceremony, my name. I thought, ooh. And I never looked at it as a challenge, but I looked at it as an honor. You know, and as much as I get an opportunity to speak, it says, because it is your gift that will bring you before great men. The opportunity that we have, you know, that we don't know, that something is about it that will put you before the audience of people. And so I am humbled that I was asked just to be the MC. Never planned to be the speaker. You know, as I call myself sometimes a reluctant leader, as Moses did. Never planned to do those things. You know, spoke with a list and studied, because that's how, you know, that's a little bit about me. But the time and opportunity arise, because we are family. The time and opportunity arise to understand the history of who we are, because of the roots that we have and the branches that are about us. That's what we have. So I just want to thank you very much. I didn't want to go too much into that, but you just never know somebody's story. And so every time you see me speak, I don't speak for me. It's all of you speaking. So God bless you. Thank you so very much.